Thanks for stopping by. You are listening to the video recording of our episode. You can catch our streams live most Tuesday nights at 7:30 Eastern. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to get updates about our schedule. All our stream info and links are in the description below and at links.chaoticallybalanced.com. If you would like access to our Discord community perks and to see exclusive content through Coffee, visit chaoticallybalanced.com/support. Thanks! Let's head into the adventure. Well, we're back from a 1-week hiatus of technical difficulties and scheduling conflicts. But now we have our regularly scheduled program, so without further ado, welcome, fellow adventurers, nerds, and neurodivergents. Sit back, stay hydrated, and prepare yourselves for tonight's adventure. Last we left off, the group of investigators had some shenanigans to kill some time before their first reinforcement to their haunted dagger issue arrived. It was the arcane librarian Kaida Greybreeze, also known as Ynor's wife. After some tense introductions and more shenanigans, they made their way to the ship where Bavin and Zara were waiting. Everyone went on the ship against Zara's warning and found the captain's quarters full of a dark swirling mist. After some investigation and Ynor's tingling hand, because she decided to reach out and touch the mist, Kraka stepped in front of her and into the mist, vanishing as it began to swirl around him. Some dispel magics later, and both the mist and Kraka vanish. They eventually found him in the hatch, and he tossed up the cursed box a little too accurately. No one was able to catch it. It crashed into another box and broke open. The dagger laying about on the floor started talking in people's minds until Kaida examined the dagger and deemed it was mostly safe and quite ancient, older than almost any magic that she's had access to. It was agreed that Lala could acquire the dagger. After this, Ynor was able to negotiate a trade with Zara to acquire her long envied and sought after sword, Dawnbringer. Just as everyone was planning to go back and relax, some ships were seen on the horizon and cannon fire began to hit the outskirts of the dock area. Soldiers were forming up and alarm bells were ringing. Zara basically ordered them to leave and told them to take the other vessel with them to the main city. There were some tense rolls and navigation checks and assistance checks from the rest of the crew, but eventually they were able to get through the cannon and arcane fire, safely leaving the port with a few reinforcements on board their ship they are transporting. Now, there's a couple days' journey before they make it to their destination port, the main city of Khurag. We're going to pick up with some ocean. So you all just navigated or helped navigate through cannon fire and other bits of arcane missiles coming at you. You now have that conflict mile or two behind you with no pursuers. There is still the airship in the distance, as well as the flagship from the pirates, and they seem to be at some kind of standoff as there's a lot of smoke from both sides bellowing up into the sky. What are you all doing as I prepare the proper map?
Joaquin would be piloting. Again, every so often he would just kind of busted detect magic. But again, after the third time, he'd realize, if there was nothing detected, that, they're just kind of essentially coasting. So he'd relax a bit. And that is when he would, again, if there was nothing of any like pressing concern, he would pull out the compass that he was given and look at it, see what the needles are doing.
The one needle's pointing north.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up my notes here. Where is... Uh-oh, I lost it. There it is. So one of them's always pointing north. One of the needles is pointing back towards the port where you came from. One of the needles is just kind of spinning. Two of the needles are kind of just spinning, actually. One of the needles is pointing out. Two of the needles would be pointing straight out to, like, sea, I guess. And one of the needles is just kind of bouncing around in a few different directions. Like, it stops for a second, then spins, and stops for a second, then spins.
Okay. So with that information, Joaquin would look at the compass, and then he'd get like an annoyed look on his face, and be like, "Damn it! Why can't someone just tell me what this is?" And then, as he says that, he's going to remember. Oh, that is very interesting, Lala. But Joaquin is not that smart. So he would shout that, and then as he shouted that, he would remember how Kaida used magic to determine what that knife was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, minor illusion, light bulb above his head. He would then look down on the deck. Who did he see on the deck? So he'd seen Leon, he'd seen Poppy, he'd seen Lala, he'd seen Beetle, and he'd seen Crocker.
You're a little muffled.
Sorry, I was away from my phone. Is that better?
That's better.
Okay. So it looks like from where I am, I cannot see Kaido.
That's because she's not on the map yet.
Okay.
Assume she's next to Yenor.
Okay. In that case, I would shout, Kaido, I need you! And then he would minor illusion big fluorescent letters in the sky to get their attention, and they would all be rainbow colored letters. And I would say, Kaida, come up to the bridge, please.
That's a fancy trick, Mr. Magic Man.
Oh, you just made a mistake because you gave me a new nickname. And he gives her like a smirk.
Not that kind of magic man.
Absolutely that kind of magic man, strikes another pose. But.
Yenor, she nudges you in the side a little bit. Hey, can you help me out here with... You've been dealing with him longer.
Wait. What I was going to say, or rather ask, was, and then he pulls out the compass and he shows it to her. Can you help me figure out what this does? It's got magic, but I don't know.
What are you gonna do for me if I help you figure out what it is?
What do you want?
What is that noise?
Oh, sorry, I was scraping something.
Uh, uh, hmm. I don't know, Yenor. Should I just help him?
I mean,
This
I
has been
do have.
vexing him for a long time.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't quite get all that.
This has been vexing him for a long time.
Indeed, it has. Look at me. Look at this face. I'm vexed. And he gives her like puppy dog eyes.
All right. Hand it here. It'll take me a while.
Whatever you need, madam. And he smiles, gives her a, gives her a, just kind of a thumbs up, and then gives her the compass.
Actually, it's
And then
not
he
going to
just
take as long as I thought.
Yeah, and he's just watching her as she does it.
Well, for now, because I can't get Kaida's picture in here just yet, that will be her. She kind of sits and draws the same sigils and circles that she did previously.
As she does that, Joaquin would be like, "What do those mean?"
They're the glyphs for if I'm using a ritual to identify something.
Oh, you mean the long, boring way of casting magic?
It's the efficient way of casting magic. Doesn't use up any of my resources if we need them for, say, a pirate ambush.
Yeah, long, boring. Gotcha. Do the thing.
She just kind of sits and it glows. This is going to take me about 10 or 15 minutes, so staring at it's not going to help. And unfortunately, if you can't learn magic from a book, I can't teach this to you.
Wait. Books have magic?
Yes, so many books have magic.
Yeah, I don't do that. As you said before, I am, and then he'll like flitter his fingers and minor illusion above his head, the magic man. It appears in fluorescent lights. Don't have to read to do the magic.
By the way, the rest of you just see the fluorescent light magic man with Joaquin striking a pose just a couple times throughout this conversation.
Yes, you do.
Deedle especially, since you're up in the crow's nest.
Kind of snicker. I'm just gonna kind of snicker.
I think she's too high up for me to hear that snicker, so I can't do anything.
No. More to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to do anything else or discuss anything else while Kaida is identifying this multi-pointed compass?
Lala has gone down into the galley and is both eating while trying to feed her dagger to see if it eats.
The rest of you just, while this is going on, see Lala disappear. Downstairs. No, your dagger does not eat Lala.
Good to know. It does cut up food really well.
I'm still a little weary on trusting people. The last time we were supposed to trust someone, we had trackers on our ship, so I'm going to. How did I do it last time? Did I have somebody hold the rope as I tied myself off and swam underneath, or did I just tie it off somewhere?
Last time you had someone hold the rope and you tied it off.
Yeah, I was holding the rope.
I'm gonna try it just to tie it around the main mast.
Okay, that would be the one
Okay.
that the crow's nest is on.
Correct.
Okay.
And then
Make a
go ahead.
sleight of hand or survival check just to see how well your knot tying is. Your knot tying's pretty good. That's a 19. You
And
tie
then-
a rather efficient and tight knot.
And then I'm just gonna run like right behind Poppy, and well, I'm gonna tie it off to me first.
Okay.
I'm gonna like, I don't know, like wrap it around me in like a cross pattern and then tie it. So this way it's not just around my shell and then I can just flip out, you know?
Okay.
And then
So
once
like across your waist and then over your shoulders.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm just gonna run behind Poppy and dive overboard and start checking underneath the ship for anything, and then if I find something, then we'll go from there. If I don't, then I'll get back on the ship and now I'll search the interior of the ship for anything
Make
different or missing.
an investigation or a perception check. Ooh.
I'll add a hero.
Go ahead.
17.
Oh, that was a max on the hero point die.
That
Okay,
was sick.
17's better. It still takes a little bit for you to swim around to check the entirety of the ship.
Yeah,
But
so
meanwhile, so Yenor, you see Kraka just get some rope and tying some knots to the mast and then tie it around himself, and he thinks for a second, then crisscrosses around himself and then just dives over the side of the ship. Beetle, all you see is Kraka dive over the side of the ship. You don't see the rope really.
I'm gonna scurry down the crow's nest because I'm worried because I think he just jumped into the ocean.
DM, real quick, how many hero points should we have right now? How many did we get back?
5 plus. It should have done it automatically when you did your level up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It just shows me at 1 right now.
Let me see. I can fix it. Yeah, it's half plus your character level. It's 5 plus half your character's level, rounded up. So that would be
5.
5.
So I should add 4? Or
Yeah,
I should
we
add
just-
3?
we just leveled up, right?
Yeah. So you
It
should
should
have,
reset
it should reset.
to
Yeah.
max.
No, it didn't for me.
Yeah, it didn't.
It didn't for me either. I just put it back up.
Yeah.
My
That's
inspiration
weird.
points and everything and got reset, but not the yeah.
Well, the
So I
inspiration
just
point
used
shouldn't
one.
have been touched.
Yeah, no.
I was
Alright, so
gonna
I just reset it back to max.
for housekeeping purposes with the inspiration, do they go back to 0 or just stay as they are?
The inspiration isn't affected by level ups,
Okay.
so it stays
Affected by
as it
the
is.
20.
Correct. Hero points and the healing surge are both affected by. Our healing surge is affected by short rest. But your amount of times that you can use healing surge is affected by your level.
Healing surge.
Yes.
Hmm. Oh.
You should have all of that listed in your bonus action.
That one.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Okay.
So Deedle, you scurry down from the crow's nest. And you breathe a sigh of relief as you do finally see a very well-tied rope.
Crazy fucking turtle.
And it's just moving around as he's swimming around the ship.
Oh great. I'm gonna grab
Like
a
you
hold
kind
of
of have to
said
do
rope.
like the jump rope sidestep to try and, you know, not get tangled up, taken out by it, Hoth style.
Like, what kind of knot does he have in it? Does he have it wrapped around the rail, like, at least once or twice?
It's wrapped around the mast that you were on. So not the rail, the mast. It's like 3 or 4 times he wrapped around and he tied a pretty solid knot in it.
Okay. I'm just gonna stay put and just keep an eye on the rope because, yeah, we don't need to lose our turtle in the sea. He's not a sea turtle.
Kraka, there's like, you know, random shit on the bottom of the ship, like barnacles and crust and other sea gunk. But you don't really find anything of note otherwise. You do see the repair the areas of the ship that were repaired that are like kind of, because it wasn't like the hull of the ship that was damaged, it was the part that was above water. It could technically still be the hull, but it was above water. But you can still make those out as you're like coming up and then diving back down.
Okay.
But you don't find anything over the, I'd say, 15 minutes that you'd spend swimming around the outside. You don't find anything.
Okay. Out of game real quick.
Yeah.
Feats. Legacy is what we're using, right? We're not using core or
I mean, if you,
like
there's
standard?
a feat that you want that is new, we could talk about it. Legacy's 2014 rules.
All right, I'll message you which one, and you tell me which one to pick.
Yeah.
All right.
If it has both Legacy and Standard, go with Legacy.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Joaquin, around this time, Kaida would finish up with her identifying.
Would I know that she's done, or I have to wait for her to tell me she's done?
I mean, you could wait, but like the arcane glow that the glyphs were giving off while she was doing it kind of begins to dissipate.
Okay, so as that happens, I would look at her again with like kitty eyes, like, "Oh, is it done? Is it done? Do you know?"
Yes, I do. This would be the multi-compass.
Huh? Multi-compass. Wait, I have more than one compass in this compass?
Well, there are 7 needles on it, aren't there?
But this is one compass.
Well, I'm still getting to the details here.
Apologies.
All right, so each needle points in a different direction, with one needle always pointing north. Now, I'm almost positive I got my information correct. The needles were hard to deduce, as they are each individually enchanted as well. I'm updating the item for you, so you have accurate information.
Oh, this is exciting.
Save that. And we have to
Also,
make sure to
Dan,
update.
just FYI, I believe I took the Warcaster feat, but I did choose the Legacy option.
That's fine. I don't know that one changed much between the two.
No, I think it just really gave an ASI. I think one of the main things, though, is that for the opportunity attack thing, you can still cast a spell as an opportunity attack, but they removed the designation of it having to be an enemy. So technically, an ally that leaves my my threatening range, I can use my opportunity, my reaction to cast a spell on them. So, like, you know, if Yenor ran past me, I could give her a pat on the back and bless her as a reaction.
I think only an enemy can trigger an opportunity attack.
Really? Just because every
Yes.
video and whatnot that I've read and seen regarding the new updated feats kind of makes that that stipulation where it doesn't specify that anymore. Maybe
look at
I'm
it later.
reading it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at it later. The item is updated. It is in your inventory. It is called the Multi-Compass. This legendary, wondrous item is a strange compass with 7 needles, each pointing in a different direction. However, one of the needles always points north. As most sailors would, it takes more time to discern where the other needles are pointing, or, if you have magical means, just some studying. One needle always points to the nearest fort. One needle always points to the nearest source of fresh water. One points to the closest piece of pure gold. One points to the strongest nearby evil aura. One points to the closest storm, and one points to the nearest layer.
To the nearest layer?
Yep.
Layer of what?
Unspecified.
Sweet man. More questions. All right, where can I determine which of these needles is which?
With the identify spell, because you went the magical means of discerning it, most people would not have that at their disposal. She is able to tell you which one points where. So at this point, you can ask for a specific needle, and I can tell you what direction it's pointing.
What direction is the strongest evil aura pointing to?
The strongest evil aura is pointing straight out into the open ocean, along with one of the other needles that's pointing straight out into the open ocean.
Interesting. Okay.
The other needle that you determine is the closest storm.
Okay. All right, so that's good to know. I can use that to avoid storms. Okay. Interesting. Duly noted. Thank you, Lady Kaida. This is definitely...
Don't start calling me a lady now.
Should I call you bro?
Just Ida.
Bro Kaida!
Hey, why do you kiss her ass but not mine? I'm equally as impressive.
And then when she says that, Joaquin would say, well, you don't have the magics that did what she did.
No, I have the power to burn you with god fire, though.
Well, there's no reason to burn. Why would you burn me with God? What did I do for the God
Listen,
fire?
she's got her magic. I have mine.
That's right. I throw you at the big things. That's where the God fire goes. That's your good. Hers is the intelligence of the book smarts. That's why you guys are such a good match. That's how it's always been.
Uh-huh.
Oh, don't get all butt hurt. Your wife's a genius. Be happy about it.
Oh, absolutely. Always am.
You feel a thwack on the back of your head with something that feels like a quarterstaff.
Ow! What was that for?
Be nice.
I'm being totally nice. I called you a genius and her a brute.
You
I don't
feel
know if a brute's being nice.
you feel another thwack on your head.
She's the nicest brute.
Be nice, or I won't
Tell
let you
me
off the
she-
ship at the next port.
Wait. And he puts his hands up. And then again, minor illusion, big hands up. Look at your wife. Tell me she is not. And then he kind of makes like, muscly poses and muscly sounds. And then he would minor illusion. Can I minor illusion myself into something just for shits and giggles?
What do you want to minor illusion yourself into?
Like an Amazon, like a straight Themysciran Amazon.
You can use minor illusion to like give you fake muscles.
I
Okay,
will point out at this point, Yenora is very slight. Like, she's only like 5'7", and like maybe like 130, 140 pounds.
Yeah, but it's all muscle.
You can't tell that. She's got long sleeves on.
No, I can tell.
Yeah, okay.
You feel another
If there's-
thwack on your head.
Ow! All right, that was the
Are you
same
done?
thought. Okay, that was unnecessary. I'm gonna go over here now, and he goes right back to piloting. But he also has the compass. Can the compass be worn around the neck?
It's more like it clips onto something, a backpack, belt loop.
Can he click it? Can he clip it onto his cloak of displacement?
Not well. It's just a cloak. It doesn't really have like a hole to clip it to.
Brooch. Don't most cloaks have a thing for the brooch?
Yeah.
We watched that video on it. They have a thing for the brooch. That way it stays around your neck.
This is a heavy compass. It's not your standard tiny ass little compass. This is a heavy compass. That
so
wouldn't hold it.
He would just pull it out of his pocket every so often, making note of the storm arrow, as well as the nearest port arrow.
What? You could clip it to like one of the loops on your breastplate.
Okay, I'll do that.
Like the underside of it, you could try to pull one of the loops out one of the holes and clip it to that.
I'll do it.
The nearest port is pointing in just about like southish, just about the direction you're going.
Okay, perfect.
Nearest storm's still out in the middle of the ocean.
Also perfect. So now he doesn't even have to bust tech magic or anything. So yeah, he's just chilling.
All right. Is anyone else doing anything else? Hyda walks back down to you, Yenor.
As she does that, there would be fireworks, so minor illusion fireworks that reveal thank you.
Stop being so showy. You're gonna draw attention to us.
You forget who I am. And then again, more fireworks. Magic man.
He leans into you. Is this how you guys got found out before? That he's not being very stealthy.
It's always him. Is there a rock on the ground?
No, this is a pretty clean ship.
Okay.
Damn
You can
right
find
it
a
is.
potato.
I'm gonna go grab a potato.
Okay, as you go down to the galley to grab potato, you see Lala trying to feed her knife food.
I'm gonna tap her on the shoulder. You need to feed it the blood of your enemies, not soup.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yes. I'm gonna
I
go
don't
back
care.
up.
I don't care what Joaquin says. You're pretty smart.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Lala, you see her just grab a potato out of the sack and just go back up the stairs nonchalantly. It's a raw potato. It's not cooked.
I see absolutely nothing wrong with this.
I'm going to take my dagger and I'm going to cut just like a chunk out of it.
Okay.
Right? A small chunk.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go up to where Rakeem is about 10 feet away and throw it at him.
Joaquin, you see Yenor cutting a potato, small chunk out of this potato, and she walks up the stairs, at the top of the stairs, and she's just holding this potato and chunk of potato, and she looks at you, and then all of a sudden you just get hit in the side of the head with a chunk of potato.
Wait, I don't even get to try to dodge?
I mean, you can. Yenor, go ahead and make that would be a dexterity check.
Sorry, you need me to make a dex check?
And a hero point that.
Okay.
That's real bad. 13.
That does not hit my AC.
You throw the small chunk of potato at Joaquin, but he kind of sees it and he just kind of leans out of the way and it doesn't hit him.
In that case, I'm going to walk up with him with the cut side of the potato. So the wet, weird side.
Don't you dare. Don't you fucking
right
dare.
on his nose.
Get back, woman.
No.
You get
Chaya.
wet potato nose.
And nope. Joaquin hops back because he sees what she's doing, and he's
I mean,
like,
she gets to make an attack roll again.
But that should be dex again?
No, that's going to be strength with proficiency.
Strength with proficiency. Where's that one?
So just roll strength and add your proficiency bonus.
I'm going to inspiration that. Okay. I missed. I'm not using these items.
You're able to jump back, Joaquin, and not get wet potato nose.
yeah, no wet potato nose. That's disgusting and smell. Why is that even on my ship?
Because
Can
you
I-
need potatoes.
Not spoiled ones. Can I mage hand that out of her hand?
It's just a wet potato that I cut open. It's not spoiled.
It's not spoiled? Okay.
No. It's just a wet potato.
Yeah, it's just a raw potato that she cut open.
I only cook potatoes.
Then cook it.
Lady, I'm driving the ship. I gotta do everything for you now? Go talk to your wife. Have her make you a potato, damn it.
Can I try to throw the other half of the potato at him again?
I mean, Taida comes stomping up the stairs again.
No, I would do it as I'm leaving.
Well, she heard this shenanigans coming on, and she came stomping up the stairs.
Can I throw it at Kaida?
The potato?
Yes.
Sure.
Wait, why are you throwing things at your wife now?
Because it's fun.
Kaida, do you hear this?
Go ahead, make I'd be a dex check because you're throwing it.
God. That's a fail. Her AC better be better than 12.
Yeah, it does. That's the mirrored of her AC.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of just sidesteps the pit. Where'd that come from?
What came through it?
She just kind of gives you a look, Joaquin.
You can't possibly believe that. My hands are over here.
Yeah, now.
I don't see them holding anything. You're not behind the wheel.
I didn't mean to roll. I don't know why I rolled an intelligence save. I didn't mean to. But I'd be like, Kaida, you just did me a solid. There's no way that I would assault you. And I would be trying to persuade her. Do you want me to roll persuasion?
He's reading something.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and roll persuasion.
So, that's 26.
Oh.
Joaquin is persuasive, man.
Listen, it's not even rolling for me. So let's take that off and let's check off one of those. She rolled 27.
What? Motherfucker. Can I hero point mine?
It's too late. You already know the result. Yeah, that roll never came through digitally. That's weird. Just don't be throwing food. We're on a journey here.
I mean, look at my hands. I literally have no potato stuff on me.
You could have mage handed it. You like using that mage hand.
The mage. Your wife's a liar, and he just gives her a dirty look.
Kind of looks at you, Ynor, and you.
Sweet, innocent angel. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop instigating him.
I would never. With that, she's going to put her hands over her head like a halo. Sweet, innocent angel. Blessed by the deities.
Let him drive the ship.
Yes, my love.
I'd rather not get into another situation.
Joaquin is very good at putting us in those, isn't he?
She kind of grabs your hand and drags you back down the stairs with her.
I go reluctantly.
So, as she went down, I would mage hand try to, like, flick her on the back of the ear. And that's what that sleight of hand check was for.
Well, it misses because it doesn't beat her AC.
Would I feel it? Would it ruffle my hair or something?
No, because Kaida was pulling you down the stairs. She just pulled you down too fast.
Okay. He got real close.
He got real close. Lala, what are you doing throughout this besides trying to feed your knife?
She didn't have breakfast or anything, so she was mostly just eating her own food when she realized that it was not successful. Yeah, that's mainly it. She's keeping to herself and having a meal that she actually sat down for, which is pretty rare for her. Not that anyone has noticed.
So, when do we get to eat some blood?
Well, when we're off the ship, first of all. Probably. We need to get near people who are enemies.
I think there's some on that ship behind us.
There weren't any ships following us when we left.
The tugboat ship.
Tugboat ship?
The ship you're
Did I-
tugging.
Oh,
Remember the other Sioux sailing vessel that is evidence that is being brought to the main city? Yes.
I forgot we were. Yeah. Wait. But we were on the ship and all I saw was you.
Oh, there's escorts on that ship now.
Why would the escorts be enemies?
Why would there be spies in government?
Spot. Why would it? Oh.
Enemies
Jeez.
are everywhere.
That I understand. That I'm familiar with. I'm just not used to ever being anybody of importance that a government would spy on. But
Maybe they're not only spying on you. Isn't there a important person on that ship?
well, I think Yenora and her wife are important enough. Maybe?
What was his name? The dude that talks to his hat. He annoyed me.
You met him?
I can see things outside of this vessel that I occupy.
Wow. That must be hard. Are you okay?
As long as you feed me.
I will talk to the others. Perhaps we'll be more wary of the escorts.
Also, are you even old enough to wield me?
You shut up.
That was aggressive. I'm just trying to make conversation. It has been a millennium since I have had anyone to talk to.
Well, you just rest assured I am old enough for whatever life throws at me.
Hmm.
And
We'll
she
see about
does
that.
a little. She picks it up and does a little like Peter Pan fancy flipping with her dagger with him, just for
Make a
fuckery.
sleight of hand check.
Quick. Oh no! Oh dear.
I mean, in your mind, it's flashy.
One must assume that being inside the dagger probably felt really cool too. We'll just assume that.
I don't feel the outside forces of the world.
Well, you saw how impressive I am.
I saw something.
And yet you decided to not tell me any sooner that you don't eat soup. It's not because you're a vegetarian, right?
I don't eat
blood.
anything. I just absorb blood.
Right. Right. The opposite of a vegetarian.
I'm not even sure if I'm still alive.
What else would you be?
No response.
Well, one day, Dagger, I will learn your name, and she pats its handle, and I will still tuck you into bed at night, whether you are alive or not.
I believe the name I was given was Desolate's Tooth.
You don't look like a tooth. And who's Desolate?
Make a history check.
See how well this goes.
And since no one's down there with you, you can't ask for help.
That's okay. My history is not good. Lala
It's
has
gonna
no
roll.
She has no fancy book learnings. It's a 12.
I mean, from your limited knowledge, you would recall at least that one of the moons in the night sky is named Desolate. But you don't remember much else. You don't know which moon it is. You don't know how often it is seen, and you don't know anything about the moon itself. You just recall that one of the moon's names is Desolate.
Most moons are named after gods, though. I guess
Make a
it was
religion check.
Oh. Okay. That's not going to be much better.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're both intelligent.
Yeah, which is not fantastic. Yeah, that's a 4.
Oh, God. While you have no idea if it's named after a god, and it doesn't sound familiar to any of the belief systems that you have come across.
As few schools that Lala has attended, she has attended even fewer churches.
So you are unsure.
I will think of a cool name for you. One that does not suggest that you're a tooth.
Around this time, Yenor and your wife would be at regrouping at the bottom of the stairs, and you just hear Lala mumbling to herself down there from the stairwell.
I'll elbow Kaida a little bit. I told her it needs to be fed the blood of its enemies.
What needs to be fed the blood of its enemies?
But you said she could have.
Then is that what she's talking to? Are we sure she's just not talking to herself?
No, she's usually a lot more stealthy when she's by herself. Usually we wouldn't hear or see her for hours.
Should we check on her?
We can. You said the knife's not necessarily evil, so it should be safe, you said.
Safe in regards to it's not going to convince her to hurt us or herself. But she's talking to it.
Well, it's a sentient thing. Dawnbringer talks.
This is why I don't like sentient objects.
Well, you're gonna have to get used to Dawnbringer. She's sticking with me.
Yes, but she can't talk to me in my head. That one can.
How can it? It can talk to other people?
We'll talk to you.
When I was touching it.
And talk to Kraka.
When he was touching it.
And I touched it. So I'm just waiting to hear some disembodied voice.
Do you want to touch Dawnbringer? At that, I'm going to hold the hilt out.
She just, with her finger, reaches out and just like ET phone home, just pokes it.
Does Dawnbringer talk to her?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, maybe she just doesn't like you. I stick Dawnbringer back in my belt.
In your head, I'll have you know, I can only talk to the one that wields me.
That's because I'm special.
No, you negotiated well. But at least I'm off that island.
It's fine. You can kill things soon. And I'll use you to defeat evil. And darkness.
Still going on in the galley, just yapping away. Kraka and Deedle, anything from you guys?
So my search before, from what I found, was underneath and whatever was on.
We could use, say, you while everyone was doing all this, you had a chance to look around the ship too. It's been enough time has passed. You didn't find anything on the ship either, though.
You didn't find nothing like missing or nothing like
No.
moved around.
No, other than the supplies you did use for the day and a half that you were there to cook and whatnot, you didn't really find anything else missing.
Okay,
You did occasionally, as you were looking around, hear the mumbles of Lala between munching, because she's talking to herself, as what it seems.
I've heard the voices from the knife, so it's just, I know what's going on, so it's not bothering me. Speaking of cooking, how long's it been since we ate?
Since you guys ate, it's been, I don't know, a few hours, like 3 or 4 hours. It's approaching like evening, like late afternoon, early evening time.
Do we have any ingredients to make some booze?
What kind?
Because I have a brewer's kit, right?
I believe so. I think I saw that on your character sheet.
I thought I had one. Maybe that was just a level. No, I just have the Tinker's box. Or Thieves' Tools, I mean.
No, you do have brewer. Oh no, you're proficient with brewer's supplies.
Right, but I didn't get a brewing kit yet.
No,
Okay.
you did not. No, but you have. Yeah, you are proficient with one. So when you do acquire one, you'll be able to.
I'm just gonna attempt to make a brew. Not like I know how to, but I know the
Well, if you're
gist of
proficient
what's
with
in
the
it.
brewer's, if you're proficient with the brewer's kit, I would assume you know how to. You just need to figure out a different way to make it.
All right, well then we'll go that route.
There's all kinds of root vegetables and like weeder fruits and some sweeter vegetables, but the thing you have the most of is like potatoes or similar.
Well, I know that you can make alcohol from potatoes. So, I mean, I don't know if Crocker does, because I don't know if vodka's a thing in Etheros. But I will attempt to make alcohol with the base ingredient, potatoes, a little bit of root herbs. Or, I mean, yeah, you said root herbs, right?
Yeah.
And then, we have any flowers?
I'd say there's probably not any flowers. What's the
Well,
purpose of the flowers?
just like to add into the mix a little bit, like if I was I'm trying to think of isn't like carmine a flower?
You're thinking of hops.
Well, hops is that a flower? Is that considered a flower?
Yes, it's a flower.
I didn't know that was considered a flower. So no, I don't like hops. And hops is, and if I try to mix beer and a liquor, I don't think it's gonna come out right. So I'm just trying to stick with like liquor mead, maybe like a flavored liquor. I'm trying to make. I'm trying to think of what.
You could mix some. You could mix some stuff to make a flavored mead, like very root based alcohol.
Yeah, I was just maybe just the flowers in the end, just to, or something aesthetic when it's done, just to like have floating on top.
Apple slices or lemon.
Sure. There we go. Perfect.
Like fruit.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have you make an intelligence check. I think. Let me look at this, because it could fit under something else. That's not much better, I don't think. I give you an option. Just intelligence or medicine. I'd throw it under medicine.
Well, what would I use? What would the brewer supplies fall under? Like as a roll, whenever I had a brewing kit.
Not sure. I don't know what modifier that would use.
So then, and like if or like if you use a poisoner's kit, what would you use for that?
Poisoner's kit's, I think, medicine.
All right, so then I'll go medicine.
And then because you're proficient with a brewer's kit, I'll let you add your proficiency bonus. So I think you're still at +3?
Yes. So that's a 13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes sense. You don't have a brewer's kit, so it takes you a little bit of time to figure this out. You hear Lala munching in the like the galley kitchen area, talking to herself while you are running around down here just throwing stuff together. Those of you on the deck above, Deedle, Yenor, and Kaida, all just hear Kraka, like wood sliding on wood, and then something hitting and doing a on the floor, and then some splashing, and some more splashing, some stirring. He's making something.
Can I try this then, please?
Can you what?
Can I try some of the tea?
You want to try some of the tea?
Yeah,
I mean, it's cold and old.
that's okay.
This is the specialty that he made earlier that some people thought tasted great and others thought tasted like crap. That tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, it still tastes like crap. It tastes like the most vile thing you've ever drank. Actually tastes worse than the most vile thing you ever drink because now it's cold. You thought it was... Oh, your mic went weird.
I'm gonna take my hands and like just strike my tongue. Pat, 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 pat.
Yeah, it's not good. Yenor, Because Kaida is now just petting Poppy. You would see Deedle take a sip of the tea, like the cold tea from earlier, and then just kind of spit it out and wipe her tongue.
Refresh me on this. I don't know why the tea tastes the way it does to certain people, right?
No one does.
No one knows?
No.
Can I go inspect the tea leaves?
Sure, you have to go downstairs to inspect the tea leaves.
Yeah. Go inspect some tea leaves.
Okay. Because I'm going to stay up here with Poppy.
Yeah, you do that. She's missed you.
She just kind of, Poppy flops over, just belly rubs.
Yep.
You go downstairs.
Yep.
Lala's still talking to herself. Croc is dragging a barrel around and throwing shit in it.
That's an average weekday in here.
All the supplies are kind of haphazardly thrown down here, so you're not sure which box has the tea leaves.
I start digging.
Make an investigation check.
I have advantage on those. 25.
It doesn't take you very long because you remember it was a smaller box, and it wasn't like a storage crate. It was more like a latching crate.
Yep.
Like you could close it again. So you find it. What are you inspecting them for?
I want to see if I can find out what kind of tea it is.
It's not a tea that you are familiar with.
Do I notice any, like, bits? Like, I know some teas are blends of different things. Any weird herbs?
Make a history check.
I don't know that I trust the dice. Hold on. Where's my thing? I shouldn't have trusted that. That is a 7.
That's 7.
I'm just getting freeze today.
It doesn't resemble anything that you are familiar with. It's not like a tea that is rapidly available.
I'm gonna take some in my hand
Mm-hmm.
and put the rest of the box away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna show Kaida.
Kaida's now on the deck and Poppy's on top of her.
I'll kick Poppy with my boot gently. Let her up. You can have her back in a minute.
She kind of flaps her wing at you. Just her one wing. She just flaps it a little bit.
I poke it with my boot.
And she gets up and grumbles and just sits next. Feathers.
It's your own fault. You let her lay on top of you.
Let her. Look how big she is. She got bigger.
Kick her butt.
I can't do that.
I do.
She's a sweet baby.
She's a sweet baby who walks all over you.
She gets up. Yes, my love. Brushing feathers off
What's
of her
this?
robes.
I hold out my hand with a tea in it.
It's tea.
Well, what kind?
I don't know.
Well, do your magic stuff on it.
I don't know if... I'm not sure if Identify can work on
It works on an object.
tea leaves.
Tea leaves are an object. They're multiple objects, I would... because a blend... is a blend one? Like, as a whole?
It's magic item or something. Alright, let me go back over here. Is technically a magic item. Because it's technically a magic item, she can use identify on it. All right. These leaves have to stay in this circle that I'm drawing. Where should I do this?
Probably downstairs out of the wind.
She gets up and she goes
Can
downstairs.
you put them in an object?
Can
And
I-
then put the object in the circle?
As long as the object's a mundane object.
Yeah, go put it in a cup.
She goes downstairs. I don't know where anything is down here as she's halfway down the stairs.
I come with and I get her a cup out.
Poppy tries to come downstairs behind you.
Poppy, get up there.
So you both walk into the galley. Oh, hello. Lala, just Yenor and Kaida walk in.
Hi.
How is your new friend?
It thinks that we're being spied on and that the escorts on the ship are evil enemies. But I did find out what his favorite food is.
Let
You know-
me guess. It's blood.
Yeah, Yenor was right.
You know, we're just gonna get the biggest shit-eating grin on her face.
Can we take a step back? We'll revisit the blood part. Let's take a step back. Enemies on the other ship.
Yes, he thinks they're spies.
Bavin's on the other ship.
Yeah, the one with the hat. He said he didn't like him.
Bavin's by himself on that other ship with 3 unknown strangers.
Well, we should probably warn those strangers.
You keep doing what you're doing. We'll call you if there's any blood for your friend to absorb.
Great, thanks. I couldn't find any in the galley.
As she walks, she just pulls a cup off the shelf and just plain face, just putting tea leaves in a cup. She's done with it already. She doesn't want to think about it. And when she sits down at the table and puts down and draws a little circle around it, and Lala, you see her drawing a little circle around this cup with tea leaves in it.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out what these tea leaves are exactly, because they taste different to everyone who drinks them, apparently.
Can I watch?
Sure.
Lala puts her dagger away in her sheath and kind of scoots her butt over and looks real close.
It's going to take a while, so it's going to be kind of like watching paint dry or grass grow or water boil.
Okay. Maybe I can finally learn how this magic stuff functions.
You do see the glyphs in the circle that she drew begin to glow as she herself has a hand on the glyphs and has a hand on the teacup. And her eyes don't glow, but they have an arcane hue to them. Kraka, at this point, you are fairly confident that you have enough stuff in this barrel to make an alcoholic beverage of some kind.
So I would, once I feel confident enough that I have enough stuff, and like you said, I mixed it enough, I would seal it and bring it up to the deck so it can sit in the sun and ferment.
Okay. You do have to kind of do the weird waddle past Poppy, who's just sitting at the top of the stairs looking dejected.
Oh, what's with the sad face, Poppy? Well, you know you can go down there. Go get her.
She just shakes her head no.
Well, I think we're running low on fish. Want to go fishing?
She just takes off and starts splashing in the water. You hear the thudunk of footfalls, and then psh. You assume she's going fishing.
Yeah.
Deedle, you see Kraka like half carrying, half waddling with this big barrel up the stairs. Joaquin, you would see it too at this point. Rocco, where do you want to tie it up?
Right there.
Okay. Thankfully, your rope is still there, so you can just use your existing rope to tie it to the mast.
That's why I'm putting it there.
What's he doing now?
You just see him carrying a big barrel and tying it to the mast.
Crocker? What you doing over there, bud?
Making something?
Making something in a barrel?
See, why are you asking questions if you already know the answer?
What are you making in that barrel?
Was that loud enough for me to hear?
Oh, Joaquin, was that out loud to him or just in your head?
That was more to me.
Okay.
Don't worry, you'll find out in... I don't know. Depends on how fast you can make the ship move. Maybe we'll find out before we dock or when we dock.
What was that? You wanted me to go faster? Okay, I can go a little faster. And then he gives a little smirk.
Okay.
And he's going to slightly increase the thruster speed. Enough that Crocker feels it.
There's a almost like a pullback when you do that on the back of the ship, like you feel it, and a little bit of a creaking.
As I feel the tug of the ship, because like you said, there's a little jerk too because we're tugging the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just over exaggerately fall over. Like I wasn't braced for the sudden speed increase. Just for the hell of it.
Joaquin and Beetle, you both see Kraka fall over. Lala, Yenor, and Kaida all just hear a thudunk from above as you just rock from side to side as the ship feels like it increases speed. But you also hear the squeaking and the creaking, more so since you are in an enclosed space at the back of the ship.
Yeah, so now I'm over dramatically like Peter Griffin.
You okay?
I just smile and wink at her. I continue to. Ah. Ah.
I give a slight smirk towards Kraka and I say, "This fast enough for you, buddy?"
A little warning next time would be nice.
Joaquin Minor illusions a big thumbs up, about 3 feet in front of Kraka.
Okay. The creaking sound's still happening.
I can hear it.
Yes.
Is it increasing?
It's steady.
Is it coming from a specific area?
Yeah, behind you.
All right, I would ease off of the throttle, and then I would go and inspect the area where I heard the sound coming from.
Okay. You go back to the speed you were going, and the creaking stops, and ship slows down. And all of you downstairs then rock the opposite direction because the ship slows down. You just, yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead.
As soon as Lala is physically able, she will start to run upstairs and towards the back of the boat.
Okay. So you break from watching Kaida and run upstairs. To see the back, you'd have to run up to where Joaquim is, or Joaquim is also looking over the back of the boat. One of the chains, I guess one of the anchor points of the chains anchored into is a little bowed out. It's a little weak.
Does it seem like it has been tampered with at all? Or it's just the way it is?
You're too far up to tell. You'd have to get up close to it.
Can I do that?
You could try. It's about 20 to 25 feet down on the back of the boat, so it's a vertical drop.
Right. Is there rope?
There's rope all over the boat.
Okay. She will tie it around herself several times on one end and secure it.
What are you securing it to?
Oh no, I just mean like she made a little harness on herself and secured it. And the other end she's going to hand to Joaquin.
Joaquin, you watch Lala tie rope around herself, and then she hands the other end to you after you both looked over the edge to see the bowed out thing.
Bowed out?
Yeah, the bowed out anchor point kind of bent some of the wood.
Oh. Oh, wait, you're going in?
I have to see something.
Okay. Don't die?
Don't
I
let
say,
go.
Do I hear "Don't die"?
You hear something. Make a perception check. See how much you hear.
Joaquin braces himself.
My passive is 17, if that helps.
That's not enough.
Okay. See if I roll higher. 20. Dirty 20.
30, 20. That'd be just enough. You hear part of the conversation. You hear something about someone not dying.
Okay, as long as I heard the word "die," I would instantly like fake the whole injury and jump up and run to the back of the ship to see what's going on.
All right. Deedle, you see Kraka all of a sudden just get up and run like a bat out of hell to the upper deck. You're real quiet. Like, it got quieter somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't hear her either.
While we have this break, Yenor kind of finishes her identify spell,
Yeah.
and her eyes go a little wide. The T, now, granted, none of the rest of you know this information that Yenor is about to get from Kaida, since no one else is down there right now.
Okay, my ears are on mute.
These tea leaves are from a plant that has been given the name murder suckle.
Oh God, it's not gonna make us sick, right?
Quite the contrary. As long as you have not murdered someone in cold blood, it tastes fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
If you have murdered someone in cold blood, it tastes gross.
Wait, the cat almost threw up. Interesting. Don't tell anyone.
Just hand you the glass. That's what it is.
Thank you, my love. I'm gonna put the tea away.
Okay. Back up to you guys. Deedle, let's see if your mic issue is fixed.
Is that better?
That's a little better.
Little.
You saw Kraka run up the stairs. Are you following?
Yes, I'm following him.
Okay. So Kraka, you get up the stairs and Deedle close behind. You see Joaquin braced himself holding a rope. Lala's about to jump over the side and she has the rope tied to her.
I run up and grab the rope in between Yakim and Lala.
Okay.
Like, to help Yakim
Yeah.
hold her.
All right, Lala. Are you climbing over carefully or are you jumping?
I'm not positive how long this rope is compared to how far down I have to go. So she's going to essentially gym rope climb the opposite direction and just kind of like hold on to the top of the rope and slide down slow.
Gotcha. So that would be an athletics check.
Let's go gym class bonus.
That's a 26. So you like Super Spy, Mission Impossible, Black Widow style, just descend this rope down this vertical face without
Gym
much
and
issue.
gym and lunch were Lala's favorite subjects.
You get about 20 or 25 feet down rather quickly to where the buckle is, or where the anchor point is, but you do kind of have to like swing yourself over towards it. Kraka and Joaquin, you feel the rope tug a little bit as she does this.
Is there a handhold I can kind of like grab onto the side and...
You grab onto the chain itself, but there's no other handholds down here.
It's already got some weight to it, but Lala's light. She'll risk it.
It feels pretty solid.
It's.
But go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'd say it's pulling out at the wood, though.
Right.
Please don't suck. Oh dear.
That sucks.
I'm
That's a 1.
inspiration. I'm gonna inspiration that.
Okay.
Somewhat better. Yay.
19's fine.
Yes.
19's pretty good. You have to get like real up close to the anchor point and like the board. The board itself doesn't look like it's been tampered with. The anchor point looks like it's missing 2 of the 4 bolts that hold it on the board itself. And the chain where it's clipped to the anchor point's a little worn down.
Worn down like it was rasped with something, perhaps, or like, are there rasp marks?
Chemically or magically worn down.
Chemically or magically? Oh boy. Can Joaquin hear me? Joaquin, can you hear me?
Yeah, if you're yelling
I
up
can.
to him, he'd be able to hear you.
Yep. What's up?
Were all of the bolts on this when you chained it up?
They were, yeah.
I would expect that would be something he would notice and or check.
Yeah, Joaquin, you would remember that everything was in working order, and there was nothing missing when it was anchored to the ship.
Yep, that was my understanding.
Even though it was done hastily, it was done correctly.
Well, there's bits missing now. Do you have extra bolts you can send down?
Hold on. And then, I guess he'd go down to,
You would know
put
off the
ship
top of
on
your head, you do not carry spare parts like that on the ship.
Oh, no?
Nope.
No spare nuts and bolts?
Nope.
Shit.
That's why
Damn
you
it,
couldn't
we
repair
don't
your
have
mast.
any. Huh?
That's why you couldn't repair the mast when it got damaged.
So I would say, we don't have it on deck. How bad is it?
It's not gonna hold, especially if you kick up the speed again. But I am more suspicious. I don't think this was your oversight. You're a bad captain, but you're not that bad.
So first he narrows his eyes at her about the bad captain remark. And then he kind of lightens that expression, but then keeps one eye kind of suspect about the potential sabotage. And then he'll look at the compass, and he'll look at the nearest port arrow.
It's still pointing like southish.
Lala's gonna start climbing up.
That's only one of the anchor points. There's 3 of them.
Oh, but I thought the other ones were fine. Yes? No? Oh, maybe I should check them anyway.
You didn't look at them. That was just the first one that stood out to you.
Joaquin, you're a poor captain. You should order me to check the others.
We'll get back down there, damn it!
She didn't climb all the way up yet.
She was only about 5 feet up when she yelled that second part.
He looks down and says, "We'll get back down there, damn it!"
So the other one would have been right about the point that you did drop down to. That would have been the second one, and then the third one's like in the middle of those 2, but 10 feet lower.
Okay. She'll start checking the next closest one there.
The next closest one, while not missing any bolts, is also worn down.
Same sort of magically / chemical sort of.
Yeah, it looks like it was eaten through.
Not
or
like
dissolved, not like bite marks, but like eaten through or dissolved by some kind of external means. Though not quite as badly as the other one that's almost coming out of the wood.
Yeah, salt water doesn't work that fast. And she'll pop to the next one.
Takes you another minute or so to get down to the next one. Joaquin and Kraka, you feel quite the tug on the rope because she's just moving fast now to get down to the bottom one. You are getting splashed a little la by the water because this one's close to the surface of the water.
Blech.
But between sea sprays, this one, the chain's missing.
Wait, it's just gone and we didn't see that?
Not from all the way up top.
Holy schmogoli. Stop the boat! But pretend everything's fine!
I mean, we're going to the nearest port now. Can't
Bruh.
speed up though, right?
No! Stop!
Full stop?
Stop!
Joaquin,
Alright.
you would know that you have to signal to the other ship to put its brakes on, otherwise it's colliding with you.
Yeah, no, of course. So he'll look back. He will
Like
minor
everything's fine.
minor illusion in the air, a big stop sign. And then he'll do like a yellow light, a yellow flashing light, minor illusion, and then have it turn into a red light in order to kind of slow them down, you know? And then we'll come to a nice gradual smooth stop.
Let's see. Well, the one that's on the deck that's supposed to be watching for signals is asleep. You see no response from your minor illusion.
I minor illusion again. Stop in big flashing red letters.
Still no response.
Shit. I tell everybody on our deck. Something's going on. They're not getting the message. They're not stopping.
Lala's gonna start climbing back up.
Can I try and maneuver out of their path?
You can do that, yes. You'd have to let go of the rope to do that.
Double time it, toots.
I walk up towards the railing and I put my one foot on the railing, and I got this, Akeem.
I look at Kraka. I give him a nod, and then I go right over to the wheel.
Okay. Are you slowing yourself down and maneuvering out of their path?
So I would. So how fast are they moving in comparison to my current speed?
They're moving at your current speed.
Okay, so I would then, and they're just moving straight, correct?
They're following your path, essentially, but yes.
All right. I would veer to the left, just to kind of get out of their path. And if I notice that, and I would start slowing down as I veered to the left.
Okay.
And then I would also keep an eye on their movements as well, while also continuing to minor illusion slow down, stop.
It takes a few moments. Lala, you do eventually get back up to the top. Ynor and Kaida, you feel the ship slowing down rapidly and shifting ever so slightly to the left.
I'll grab her hand and run upstairs to figure out what's going on.
You're upstairs. You don't see anyone on this deck. You see Deedle standing on the stairs to go up. And you see Joaquin very, focused and sternly turning the wheel and hitting a bunch of the buttons to slow down.
Lala pats Kraka on the shell and says, I'm really glad that you manly men can handle all 108 pounds of me.
I'm just glad they were able to hold me when I did it the first time.
Poppy lands back on the deck. There's no change in the ship that you're tugging's direction.
There's no change in its direction, so it's not following us anymore.
No, but it's also not slowing down.
All right, so we'll continue to move out of its pathway and come to a slow down and complete stop. Again, if it passes, by us, again, I would continue to try to minor illusion, slow down, stop. But I would also kind of want to get a good look on as to what's happening on deck.
Takes a few moments, but as it passes by you hear the creaking sound again and the snapping of wood as the chains are starting to strain against the distance that is now closed.
Yeah, don't forget the straps on the front of their ship compared to the back of our ship.
Can we dislodge the chains?
How would you like to try to do that?
Before he tries to do that, since the chains are tight, how close are we to the other ship?
Well, now you're, it's practically alongside you, with probably 15 feet at a diagonal from the back corner of here. So from this point to the front corner of their ship.
Can I see who's piloting the other ship?
No one.
There's no one piloting the other ship.
And the guard that was on deck is not sleeping. There's a pool of blood underneath him.
We need to get on. How far away on that ship are we exactly?
A 15-foot diagonal, currently.
Okay.
And the chains are straining against your ship.
All right. What would it take to remove? All right. So I look at Crocker because and I say, we got to take the chains off. There's something going on that ship.
Can we just match their speed and throw some, I don't know, batarangs over there?
When I hear him say we gotta get on that ship, I still have the rope in my hand, right? DM?
Yes.
I still have the rope in my hand?
It's still tied around Lala.
For the record, Poppy can carry an adult and Lala.
And Lala, can you untie yourself? I'm going to use this rope real quick.
Okay.
I mean, unless you don't mind me untying you. I mean,
I don't know whose fingers are faster, but I guarantee I'd make a bet on mine.
What are you doing?
You told me to get on the other ship, so I'm gonna get on the other ship.
Oh, okay.
You
as
also
he
hear the
does-
creaking.
I'm coming to. She points at Joaquin. You match the speed. Just keep us next to this ship.
Ah! Okay. So then Joaquin will then do like a big like turn of the wheel, and he will he will then engage speed so that he's going slightly faster than the ship so that he can pull ahead, because again we're essentially tugging this ship, correct?
You're supposed to be. Right now it's strained and going to turn into you any moment. If something
So
doesn't
I'm
change.
turning. Yes, so I'm turning back so that I want to get slightly ahead of it, but so that the chain is slack.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a nature or survival check
Okay.
to do this.
While he's making the adjustments and the rope is free, I'm gonna run over to this crossbow here. And is it already loaded? Is there a bolt in it already?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna start tying the rope to the end of that bolt.
I'm inspirationing that.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
I was offering to help Joaquin if I can.
Oh, yeah. Can I roll
You
that?
can roll with advantage then.
Okay. Thank you. That's much better. Thank you, lady.
Okay. You're able to adjust yourself, but you hear a pop and a sound of wood splintering at the back of the ship.
Hell.
You're able to. And then a splash.
We're not in immediate danger, but yeah.
Lala is going to start talking fast and explaining to him that the bottom one was already completely gone. So we're holding on by one chain, which were clearly tampered with. And also, my magic god sword dagger said that there are enemies, and the man with the hat is probably killed that man on deck.
It's an interesting way to interpret what you were told, but okay.
I guess we should all get over there, right?
Okay.
Yenora and Ida are still down on the other deck with Poppy.
Can I engage? All right. So both ships are essentially moving in the same direction right now. Our ship is slightly ahead, correct?
Yes.
All right. I would match the speed of the current ship so that again we're slightly ahead. The chain stays slack, and then I would engage the autopilot.
Okay.
I'm then going to run downstairs. And I would shout for, hey, married couple, we need you.
We come up.
Do you want to go up or do you want to get on Poppy and get airborne?
Would I know what's going on?
I mean, you just heard a loud pop and a splash. You're not 100% sure.
I'd run up to them.
Do I have that rope tied off to the bolt yet?
Yes.
Okay, how long is this rope?
50-foot rope.
Okay, I'm going to shoot. Well, I'm gonna like step on the end of the rope, like the very end of the rope,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna attempt to shoot the side of the ship, like closest to the railing.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus.
Dexterity check. That is a 28.
That's a natural 20.
Hey.
Everyone gets an inspiration. You hit exactly where you were aiming. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Oh, what?
Beetle dropped out. You hit exactly where you were aiming.
I take the rope and I pull all the slack out of it and I tie it off to the railing.
Okay. You're able to
And
do
then
that as well.
once I tie it off, I use Step of the Wind and I run across the top of the rope to the other ship.
Like up until that point, though.
Okay. Ynor, you get up the top of the stairs with Kaida.
Yep.
You hear Lala rattling off everything that was wrong with the back of the ship. You see Kraka finish tying a rope to a bolt and then fire it and then run across it to the other ship.
I'll hop on Poppy and fly over.
Okay.
Is that bolt still tight roping across there?
He's on the other side by this point because Step of the Wind's fast.
Right, but did it like embed itself so it's like the
Yes,
rope's
it didn't come out. Yep.
Cool. Lala's gonna cross on the rope.
Okay. So both.
Yeah, Joaquin would follow suit as well.
All right, now, well, Lala first. I'm gonna have you make an athletics or acrobatics check for that, and then same for Joaquin, athletics or acrobatics.
To be clear, he's not trying to do any ninja shit. He's just climbing across.
That's to hold on to the rope. That's a dirty 20. So Lala, you're fine.
And then you need a acrobatics or athletic, you said?
Yeah, from you.
What do you think you have?
Oh, no. I have to inspiration that because that's a natural 1.
What are you doing? Just because I can do it doesn't mean you can.
My love, would you like me to come with you?
Always.
And she just hops on behind you on Poppy.
I'm gonna, I guess I'll, no, I'm not gonna hero point it. 16.
A 16, you are much slower than the first two that went over there. Like,
yes, I am.
A lot slower.
Yeah.
Like, all fours just inchworming your way across that rope.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you see Ynor and Kaida flying over on Poppy. Deedle, are you staying on the ship, or are you going with everybody to the other ship?
I go with everybody.
You're gonna have to wait until Joaquin's across because he's still not across.
All right.
Don't judge me.
I'm gonna say for Kraka and Lala that you both make it over to the ship at the same time that Ynor and Kaida do. Even though they left after you both did, they're flying. So Joaquin's about halfway over by that point. We will come back and see what everyone finds on that ship after a quick break. Thank you all for tuning in thus far, and we will see you back here momentarily.
Come back for the inchworm.
Bring ice cream.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you there. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the show. You can support us further by leaving a like and review. Spread the fun by sharing with your friends. We're sure they'll have a good time. You can also help us by heading over to our Ko-fi page at chaoticallybalanced.com/support, linked in the description below, and seeing what exclusive content is available to you. Alright, it's time to get back into the adventure.
we are back. We left off with everyone heading over to the seemingly abandoned and distressed ship that they were escorting. After finding some sabotaged tow chains and taking some rear hull damage, Joachim is inchworming his way across this rope while Deedle waits for him to be done so she can make her way across.
Joachim is used to rear hull damage. That's really hard to say, by the way. I can't talk.
See,
Snaps.
if you could talk, I would give you a DM inspiration, but you can't.
Snaps for the DM for being able to say that.
Kraka, Lala, Yenor, and Kaida. Well, firstly, Yenor, are you dropping down on the deck, or are you just hovering over the ship itself on Poppy?
I'm dropping down and pulling out Dawnbringer.
Okay. So you drop down and pull out Dawnbringer. I'm gonna stay up here.
Good idea.
So Kraka and Lala, Yenor drops down to like the basic superhero pose, and then whips out Dawnbringer and says the word, and it just lights up like a lightsaber, because that's essentially what Dawnbringer is. The first thing you see is one of the guards that you were lended. Throat was slit and is just laying in a pool of blood on the deck.
Knew it. It's Bavin.
So there's nobody steering the ship.
Nope.
I'm gonna run to the steering wheel and attempt to pilot the ship to make sure it doesn't run into our ship. Because I think I heard him say he put it on autopilot, but I was already halfway running across the rope, so I'm not sure.
Right.
Is that rope long enough to reach the steering columns on each ship?
That'd be stretching it.
Okay.
To have enough to tie around the steering column to do what I think you want to do, it'd be stretching it.
You are probably correct. So I don't know if I want to try, and I don't think anyone's over there anymore anyway, so.
Deedle still, because Joaquin's still making his way over.
True. Can I yell to Deedle?
Sure, you could try. Go ahead.
Deedle, catch this rope. And I don't know how. Would it be really difficult to throw it all the way across, or could I throw it like to Joachim and tell him to throw it the rest of the way?
Joachim is all fours inchworming his way across this rope.
He can't spare one hand.
You could try.
Well, is it like even remotely feasible that I'd be able to throw it across? Or I guess I'll tie it to an arrow.
Do I see her trying to throw something at me?
You see her, a bunch of thoughts cross her mind all at once.
Yeah, she's considering near the edge.
And then she eventually ends on tying the rope to an arrow.
Okay.
Do an attack.
Is Hakeem coming across on the rope like hanging underneath?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a spy.
Yeah, but like inchworming, hanging underneath.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as elegant as a spy. Because he's not a spy. Lala, where are you aiming And is this with your short bow?
Yes, it is with her short bow.
Okay. Where are you aiming?
Just at the ledge, like the ledge of the ship closest to her.
Okay, like the same area that Kraka hit when he launched.
Sure, but on our boat.
Right. Yeah, like the banister ledge close enough to where she could reach it.
That's the word, banister. Yes.
Go ahead and make an attack roll with your short bow. A 22. I'd say that you get it pretty close.
Love you too.
Not too bad.
Okay. Can I tell that she like heard me?
Deedle, you hear Lala yell to you about something about a rope.
Yep, I heard something about a rope.
And then you hear the whoosh of an arrow, and then it sticks in the banister, and you see rope dangling off of it.
I'm gonna grab it.
Alright. Lala, you see her grab the rope.
All right. Lala is going to hold the end up in the air so she can see it, and then make really exaggerated motions to tie it around the steering column in a stable, straight position that'll hold it, and kind of like raise her arm up and point down to like copy what I'm doing. And she'll yell it at the same time, but she's still not quite sure she can hear. So she'll just like tie the column straight. We're gonna match.
Make a performance check.
Oh dear.
Performance isn't your thing.
Not really. Overacting. 9.
You feel good about what you're miming.
Is it enough for her to get that I want her to do what I'm
Beetle,
doing?
Make an intelligence check.
What is it? Oh, there it is.
Nope, that's save.
Oh, yep. Damn it.
Is that the same as your check? Do you have proficiency on intelligence saves?
Yep.
Let's see. If you don't have proficiency, no, then we can use that because that's the same as your check.
Okay.
So it's the same thing.
My George 20.
So a dirty 20. While you can't make out what she's miming, really, she's just looks like she's just flailing her arms in circles. You do hear her, and you're able to deduce that she wants you to tie the rope as stable as you can around the steering column.
Okay.
Of which you've already proven you can tie and untie ropes and whatnot for various other ship uses, so you're able to do this rather easily. Lala, you do feel the rope become more snug. As you assume that it is tied, are you also tying your end to the steering column?
Yes.
Alright, Kraka, while you are stabilizing the ship, Lala is tying rope to the steering column.
Okay. I figured it would have worked if we had the ships actually side by side, not angled, but alright. Try this. Hopefully this slack doesn't snap it. And I kinda I reposition my hands, I guess, so she can tie it.
Yeah, you're able to still keep the control of the ship while she's tying it. At this point, Wakim, you do make it over to the other ship and see that there's a rope now going between both ships.
Okay, as I got to the other side, I would regroup with the rest of the party, and then I would kind of investigate to see what's going on here. Or I would, again, if Lala's there, I would help. I would try and help her investigate, since I know she's good at that.
Well,
Ynor's good at
Ynor's also here.
investigating. I'm just sneaky.
Oh no!
No,
My mistake.
Ynor's the investigator. I'm just sneaky.
I already have advantage on it.
Okay, then I know Yenor does not need any help. I would make my own quick investigation check.
I would also be making one.
All right, you both roll. We'll see what you find.
I find nothing.
26.
Joaquim, you just follow Yenor around and pretend like you're finding the exact same thing she is.
Yep. Oh, you found it too, huh?
Yenor, actually finding the things that Joaquim is claiming that he is also finding. The one guard with his throat slit is the first thing that you look at. It's a murder scene, right? This is a military style, like
Execution.
almost all the way through to his spine throat slit. It was the young kid, the younger soldier of the escorts that were on the ship.
Alright, well, they're killing children.
He wasn't a child. He was older than Lala, but he was still young, like
Lala's a child.
20.
Not much. That's a child.
Yeah.
That's a tot.
As you investigate around further, you don't hear anyone inside the small cabin, and you would. It's small. No signs of a struggle on the outer deck other than pool of blood. While you're investigating, pause, Lala, when you get near the body, you hear in your head, there's some blood.
He's not an enemy. He was killed.
Blood. Make a wisdom save.
I'm not good at these.
You wanted the shiny scent talking knife. That roll's not coming through. There it is.
20! Yay!
Did you have a +1?
I do.
Okay, dirty 20. You are able to resist the impulse to just dip your dagger in the fresh pool of blood.
Good. Jeez, I'm not a weirdo.
But I need sustenance.
As soon as we find the bad guy here, we'll stabby it.
You know, continuing your investigation,
Yep.
you go around to the inside. Make a dexterity saving throw. Joaquim, following her around. Also, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Was Lala having this conversation in her head, or was she actually talking out loud?
I'm gonna hero point that.
Lala, were you talking out loud or were you in your head?
Tends to kind of whisper out loud because it's still weird that the voice is in her head. And she assumes that it can't hear her in her head, even though she technically knows it can. Magic is weird.
So I would have heard her.
If you were close enough, she whispers.
Okay.
Kraka, you wouldn't hear her with your passive.
Well, I'm still on the old map, so I wasn't sure exactly where I was standing next to her. So that's why
no, I don't have a map for the tiny ship, unfortunately.
All right. So can we just pretend that this is the tiny ship?
Oh, we could do that. There's no upper deck, so like You'd be steering. Joaquim's walking around with Yenor. They're flying around. Deedle's not on the map yet. And Lala is over near a body, whispering. Yenor, 26. Joaquim, 16. Joaquim. Well, Yenor, you succeed. Joaquim, you fail. Yenor, you take 37 points of fire damage, cut in half, to 18.
I take none.
You take none.
If an effect allows half damage on a success, you can use your reaction to take none.
So you use your reaction to take none.
I take none.
Joaquim, you take 37 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
You guys step over into this threshold before you jump out of Yenor jumps out of the way and you push Joaquim, but not quite fast enough as most of the blast catches him. There was a fireball insignia at the entrance, etched into the floor.
Did her check not reveal that?
Yeah, really? That was
Not a very well hidden arcane glyph.
She got a 26.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
almost a natural 20. I rolled a 19.
Yeah.
I feel like
This is
an
an arcane
arcane glyph. I
My
feel
wife's a
like as an
librarian.
investigator
That's not
with a
you, though.
26. Huh?
She said her wife's a librarian.
I'd be super familiar with these
I don't
things.
know.
I've
Okay.
noticed them. But okay.
I really feel like she would have seen that. But all right.
Also, don't they glow, usually?
Usually,
they
I know
glow.
it-
They
Once
glow in
once
fire states.
activated.
They only glow once you step on it. Also, arcane sigils can't really be seen until they're activated.
Even in Supernatural, the signies or they're not activated until they touch them.
Right. So unfortunate, this one you take. You see that the front part of the room is on fire,
Yeah.
but the back part of the room, there is another body that is kind of face down on the floor,
Yeah.
and there's a sword through his gut.
Ow. Can I get through the fire or no?
I mean, it's not burning the cabin down. Oh, Jesus. It's not burning the cabin down. It more set the periphery on fire. Like, whatever trash was still in this cabin is on fire and the grime is being burned off. It's actually probably doing the room a favor.
Alright, I go to the body and check it over.
It is the... No. And you squelch in a pool of blood. And some guts. There's a huge gash through the midsection, and the sword's just... It's gruesome.
I don't think your wounds can do much. What else do I notice?
It's a narrow walkway.
Where would I have been to that fireball coming out of there, by the way?
What would what?
Where would I have been standing compared to that fireball coming out of there?
Not
Was that
in its path. It was
I also have a
directed
question.
out of the doorway, and you are, like, not near the doorway.
Well, I just wasn't sure if it was just like an explosion or if it just kept going straight until it hit something.
No, it was an explosion.
Gotcha. Okay. Continue.
So since we've already gone past that check, What was the DC to see that?
You would have had to use detect magic.
So there was no way to see that without magic.
Correct.
Yep.
There are some things that can be hidden from natural sight.
Gotcha.
So that would have been something that detect magic could have picked up on. An Arcana check could have picked up on it. True
Okay,
sight,
I'm busting
obviously.
detect magic right now,
And
and I'm keeping
it's a
that
little
going.
late.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I can bust that at will without spending a spell slot.
Right.
So I will be casting that recurringly.
Yeah, so
You
you
just
keep
say
it up
you
while
bust
you're-
that will?
Yeah, well, you could keep it up while you're investigating the rest of the ship.
Correct.
Yep.
So it's constantly on.
So, you see there's like the edges of the top corners are like bent and the walkways widened a little bit and there's scrape marks and the door frames kind of like something big pushed it open. There's only one big thing on this ship. The loading armor. The pilot of the loading armor.
Yeah.
Joaquin, you would have noticed that too, that the ceiling's indented, the edges are indented, the door frames are kind of cracked and broken and widened.
Okay.
I go inspect it further.
As you walk deeper into the captain's quarters, you hear this banging on the hatch as there's like a ton of chests on top of the hatch.
Which chests? Like the metal ones from in the hatch? Oh, come on. I start moving them.
I mean, for you, that's easy because you could just kind of. They're not stacked. So, like, you just push one and.
Yeah, I just do that
Yeah,
to
and
get
you
to the
push
hatch.
another. Really, only the one that is on the floor on the hatch is the one that you have to, like, push.
I shove it.
It takes you a few minutes to do so. But the hatch was broken. So, like, once you do that, it swings open. Oh, thank God. I've been down here since we left. And this hat, man, this hat won't shut up.
You could always give me the hat. I hold my hand out expectantly.
You don't want the hat.
No, but then you can't hear it.
Unfortunately, I had inherited this hat.
You could always burn it. Run it through with Dawnbringer.
Do not let her burn. I know, shut up. I'm keeping you, grumpy. And he climbs up and gets out. Dusts himself off.
Where's Robo Man?
Where do you think? He got picked up by his buddies. They just teleported in and teleported him out. Along with some of the chests that were down there.
I don't suppose you know what's in those chests that they took?
I do not. This was not my ship, and I couldn't see through the chests.
You're really not being as helpful as I had hoped, Babin.
Anti-magic boxes are the bane of a magic user's existence.
What good are magic users then?
They're not against things that are anti-magic.
Useless magicians.
He gets up. Ah, Joaquin. Very nice to see you again as well.
He nods, but he's damaged.
Okay. Well,
So all we have to do to get you to shut up is burn you a little?
Burn
You
me
need-
a lot.
I
whatever
was
else,
shot multiple times.
whatever else was on this ship was in those chests.
I'll head back out and let Kaida know what's going on.
She's still flying around, but you wave her down, and she comes and lands. Well, perches, I guess, would be better. Poppy can't fully land on this boat. Yes, my love.
I tell her, and then I say, "Hey, you got some Healy shit? Joaquin got toasted."
Toasted Joaquin. Let me see. Let me pull up the other one that is with you now as well. He actually doesn't have any healing right now.
Joaquin waves it off. He's like, I've got healing magic.
Kaida comes up to you and does a second level cure wounds. So we're gonna cast that. And do that. Did that roll? Oh, that actually rolled. That would be, you get 12 points of healing, Joaquin.
Joaquin thanks Kaida.
Bavin pulls out a potion of greater healing and gives it to you.
He's like, that seems a bit much. I'm okay.
Please, take it. You guys just
Okay.
found me and got me out of a literal hellhole. Why does it smell so bad down there?
I shrug.
Just to clarify, I was following. I am there with them. Yes? I don't know.
Yes, if you were
Okay.
following, yes, you are.
She was just a little further behind. She wanted to kind of make sure that Deedle was able to make it onto the ship.
Yeah.
Yes. She's gonna point her dagger at Bavin, not right up to his throat or anything, but just point it at him threateningly and be like, "You know why? You slashed those men to ribbons."
It can what? Bavin just looks confused and perplexed. He's not forming a sentence.
I'm gonna set my hand on her shoulder. Chill out. I don't think it was him. He couldn't have put the boxes on top of the door.
He has magic. He can do whatever he wants.
Don't you have to be able to see what you're doing with Mei-chan?
Mei-chan also can't pick up those boxes.
Yeah. They can't pick him up, and he couldn't have seen it if he was shutting the door on himself. It wasn't Bavin.
I don't know how magic works, but it seems to me like a bunch of hooey. And she flicks her dagger in his direction.
You wanna go stab a body with that?
That
I heard it's hungry.
it's not fun if it's already dead.
You could try cutting a limb off.
So,
Those men didn't do anything.
Fair point.
how was the door locked?
It just had boxes piled on top of it. The really strong, like, what was it, iron boxes
Yeah, they're
that were all locked.
pure iron enchanted anti-magic boxes.
Could they have been stacked up behind the door, and then when the door closed, they fall in front of the door?
It's the door of a chest, so it's weighted down that Bavin was in.
Yeah, not a room. It was the hatch that Leonore and Joaquin got trapped in.
Okay. No, they're just Lala got me thinking that maybe, what if he isn't telling the truth? He is a magician at all, and he can, do these things.
The dagger says he doesn't like him.
Why?
I don't know. But why would my talking dagger lie to me?
Is he hungry?
Yes.
Well, so he could feed his hunger? Is there still blood on the ground?
On the deck of the ship and in the hallway leading to the captain's quarters, yes.
Just see if that blood will do.
She'll put her dagger back in her pocket and then kind of skulk off to the hallway to find a puddle she can put it in.
Well, it's essentially the whole hallway.
Yeah, but I'm sure some parts are more of a thin smearing as per like a PB&J versus an actual puddle.
That's fair. You find a place to put the dagger in. Yes, blood.
I thought you wanted to kill gods. Do gods have blood?
Let's find out together if gods have blood. Do gods bleed?
Science experiment. Oh, I'm so excited.
Is anyone watching Lala do this?
I would be.
So you see Lala take the dagger and stick it just the tip in the pool of blood that she could find. The blood and the viscera and the guts and any other drips that have come out of the body since you walked in. Gone.
You can also hear her squeal science experiment because that she doesn't whisper. She's excited.
Oh God.
has been a long time since I've tasted blood.
I think it's pretty gross, but I won't yuck your yum.
More.
The enemies are gone, though.
Put me in the body.
But that's gross. He didn't do anything.
He can either be dead and not useful, or dead and useful.
What about his family?
I'm not gonna absorb his body.
All right. I suppose he'll be well preserved to return then. She'll just kind of, as delicately as possible, kind of like wiggle the tip into like a thigh.
Well, there's a huge gaping wound across his midsection.
Yeah, but that's... She still kind of have to shank him in the gut to do that, and it feels wrong.
The second that it makes contact with some kind of liquid, just sucks it in again, and you watch instant mummification of the body. Just sword, ka-ting, clang, 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 just kind of drops out of the now. Yeah, dehydrated husk.
That's impressive. It's a vampire.
That's really gross.
I know what I'm gonna call you. You're a super cool name, Nosferatu.
Really?
Call him
It fits.
Thirsty Boy.
Nosferatu.
Something cool, like you'd go to the back of a nightclub and like low key ask the bouncer to see Nosferatu. It'd be fat.
Thank you for the meal.
No problem. Keep pointing out enemies and they'll keep coming. She'll put him back in his holster.
You
Is that what it's
feel
called?
an
Is it a holster?
So your belt of returning just has 3 slots for daggers. Those slots can be whatever you want them to be. It'd be a sheath, a holster, a clip.
Sheath. That's the word that is for swords.
Yes, usually sheath.
America. Fuck.
You feel an overwhelming sense of like contentness, and like you are very satiated at the moment. But it's not like, it's not coming from you, but you still feel it.
That's pleasant. He yells threateningly down the hall to Bavin. I don't know why I cannot speak tonight. To Bavin and just be like, see that? Step out of line, it'll be you. Like kind of gesturing both at Bavin and the mummified.
I believe she just threatened a government official.
She's a child and she's under my care. She's fine. Just don't let her poke you with a knife. You're probably safe as long as you don't get poked with a knife.
I'm really hard to poke.
Yeah, so there you go. You're safe.
Under the care of Nosferatu. She poses.
You do notice that Decilus's fang is glowing this
blood red aura now.
It's doing magic-y things again. Kaito?
Question, out of game. Would a glowing weapon affect stealth?
Depends on how much the glow is.
Like her glow?
Not really. Unless
Okay.
it's pitch black. Like you're in a
Okay.
cave. Dawnbringer? Yes.
Dawnbringer is basically a flashlight.
Yeah. Yeah. Kaida's still on the deck, so unless you're going outside to see her, Lala.
Oh, I mean, she just kind of yelled it in general, so I guess she'll start heading in towards the
Doorway?
deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
since she
Kaida
knows.
meet you because she heard you. Yeah.
I figured she would hear me too, though. She just said it out loud and started walking towards the deck.
What's glowing?
Nosferatu's glowing.
That's not its name.
That's what I've named him. See, it's on the sheet now.
Oh, you
Can't be-
shared the name.
It can't be argued with.
Oh, did you feed it?
Yes.
That's why it's glowing.
What does that mean? I don't glow when I eat.
You're not a weapon, and you don't eat blood.
This is how I don't understand. Blood-eating weapons glow red, and that's just how the world is for you magic users.
I gave you all the information I had about this weapon. It is very ancient and older than most of the things that I study on a daily basis.
I'll just assume he's happy.
Anyone else looking for anything else on the ship?
I'm only checking out whatever my detect magic alerts me to.
Other than the big voids in your detect magic from the anti-magic boxes, you don't sense much else. There is this faint, like, residual arcane pinging on the back deck of the ship.
What's in the
I would
anti-magic
cautiously
box?
investigate that.
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead, Kraka.
What's in the anti-magic boxes?
The ones that are left,
Yes.
are you opening them? There's like 5.
Yeah, while he's investigating his, I'll investigate the anti-boxes.
Okay, it'll
Yeah,
take
I
you a
meant
little
the
bit to open those, but you can open them. Wakeem, you're investigating the residual energy that you found?
Cautiously, yes.
Okay. Wakeem, do you mind if I join you?
More eyes are helpful, sure.
So Bavin comes along with you. You find where the area is, and there are remnants of like a teleportation circle, but not. It's not your traditional teleportation circle. And there's this like unfamiliar arcane scent.
Said unfamiliar?
Yeah, like it's not nature magic, it's not like sulfuric like dark magic. not a studied magic. It's odd.
I pointed out to Bavin. I have no idea what this is.
This will require some study. I'm not entirely sure what it is either.
I'm not one for studying, so take your samples as you need.
I'm gonna need the ship.
The whole ship?
Well, that's why we're going to the city.
Oh, I just thought you could, do a little thing with this sample here. But okay, yeah.
No, I need my instruments.
All the more reason to get into port.
How are we gonna tow this vessel now, though?
Well, I don't know. I hoped you could have a conversation with yourself and figure it out, because my ship's not made for towing right now.
We're gonna have to sleep on it. Right now, I think you and your friends have stabilized the situation.
He looks a little bit confused, but kind of shrugs and says, "Yep, what you said."
Did Joaquin actually get a chance to look at what we did, or was he too busy clinging?
He didn't really take note. He got over and immediately began investigating. So he has no idea what you guys did.
Gotcha. So he doesn't know what he's
ship.
about. Yeah.
Joaquin, Bavin begins walking back to the front of the ship.
Yep. If nothing else is pinging, then yeah.
You see a rope tied to the steering wheel of this ship going back to the steering wheel of your ship.
I didn't do this. Do I see anyone around it?
I mean, Croc is there.
Crocker, do you
Lala's
know who did
around,
this?
Deedle's around.
If Croc is the first person I saw, I'd ask if he knew who did this.
Oh, wait, did what?
And I point to the rope on the steering wheel. Question: Is this ship is this ship functional?
No, the ship was not functional. That's why I had to have a tugboat.
Okay.
Oh, Lala tied the rope to the steering wheel to stabilize so that they would go straight or steer with each other.
Okay. Do I know, based on the compass, how far we are from the nearest port?
Does not tell you distance, only direction.
Yeah. I am out of options. Essentially, Bavin wants to continue getting the ship to port, but I don't know. We can't really repair the ship, and we can't tug it right now.
Well, you still
so I don't
have
really know what to do.
one tug chain on it.
Which is essential, but it's been straining, so that's going to last for how long?
It was straining previously and it strained a little more because of your maneuvering, but now it seems to be a bit calmed.
Well, if it's calmed and I have no other options and no one else is suggesting anything currently, then we'll just continue as we have been.
I mean, you guys have a lot of rope. On the ship, not on your persons.
Okay. So then I will start using rope to, fashion anchor points between the ships.
The rest of you see Joachim tying rope to various strong points on the ship you're on, and assume that he is going to be anchoring the ship to your other ship to try and make it to port. Is anyone...
Lala will help.
Okay. Joachim, Lala begins helping you as Croc is keeping the ship steady.
Which ship? My ship or the ship that we're on currently?
He was on the steering wheel of the tiny ship.
Okay.
Just to make sure it didn't run into your ship, because your ship's in autopilot.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, then I would accept the help and just continue on until I felt it was sufficiently secured.
Is anyone doing anything else? There's a beautiful sunset in the sky that's just dipping below the horizon. And as you guys continue to prepare the ship once again to be escorted towards the main port of Khurag, we're going to call it there, as that's a good stopping point. And we'll pick up from there next time. So thank you to all those who are tuning in, and to everyone who listens to the recordings. We appreciate you all, and we hope you all have a fun and safe rest of your evening. We will see you next week. Have a good night.
Was this all over the course of a single day?
Yeah, man.
It was indeed.
Well, join us for another 24 hours next time.
Probably more like 6 hours.
Does that mean we get a long rest?
Not yet. But
We didn't go to bed.
We will approach that next time. Everyone, see you next week.
Night, everybody.
Another one in the bag of holding. Ha! You can catch us live most Tuesday nights at 7:30 Eastern. To get the latest information, head over to links.chaoticallybalanced.com, linked in the description below. While there, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us. You can get access to exclusive content through Coffee by visiting chaoticallybalanced.com/support. Enough of that. We'll see you next time.